If you're searching for that one person who will change your life forever, look in the mirror. If you're searching for that one thing, that one trick or hack, the one secret that will give you the life you want, stop and instead look in the mirror. You are the only person who can create the life you want. It's not anyone else's responsibility. It's yours. There are some people who live by this principle, but the reality is most people won't take that responsibility. Most people would sooner make excuses than look in the mirror. The problem is always out there. It's never in here. These are the same people who spend more on lotto tickets than they do their own personal development. They spend more on diet pills than they do on health food. They spend more time complaining about the reasons they can't succeed than they do working for the possibility that they can succeed. It's always someone else's fault. Earl Nightingale said it best. We are all self-made, but only the successful will admit it. We're all self-made in our health, fitness, and physical shape, but only the fit will admit it. We're all self-made in the joy we experience every day, but only those who are happy will admit it. We are all self-made financially and in every other sense, but only those who like where they are will admit it. If I want a better life, I'm not going to sit around and wait for the government to change the rules. I'm going to get out there and work for that better life. I'm going to learn what steps I can take, and I'm going to take those steps. Step by step, I will climb until I get where I intend to go. It's never easy, but it is very straightforward, and it is always worth it. I work on myself. I improve. I learn more. I improve. I never give up. I grow stronger. And that new, improved, stronger version of me creates better results than the old version of me. I find a way. I find a way to create the life I want. If I want a better body or better health, I know a prescription is not going to give it to me. I know I can't get it from an infomercial. The only way I can get it is through my own work and my own self-discipline. I am the only person who can create the life I want. There is no one else that will ever want it as bad as I want it. It's up to me and me alone. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
The only thing in life that is guaranteed is change. So nothing else in life is guaranteed but change. That is the only thing that we can hope for that will happen, and that is change. Nothing ever stayed the same since the beginning of our existence. Things are always evolving or descending, but never the same. You leave a place for 5 years and come back, it won't be the same as when you left it. Especially Brooklyn. Change is actually a blessing because we get stagnant in life sometimes. So change forces us to do things differently. Now that we know change is coming, how do we prepare for change? The trick answer is that you can't. You can't really prepare for change. Because however you think things are gonna go, it will never go the exact way that you thought. So you just prepare that the best way you can and you let go of the outcome. Sometimes things will go better than expected. A good strategy to prepare for the future is by learning from others' successes and failures. Not only by your successes and failures, but also by others' successes and failures. History has a way of repeating itself, but with a little twist. So if you read enough books, you can gain 50 years of experience in just a week. And for only $20, if that, pretty cheap, considering the price you will pay if you don't get the information and the knowledge or the experience you need in a certain field. So books are a great investment, and I'm a big advocate for books. You must always be ready to adapt. The human race is the only species that have a problem adapting. Any others adapt to their circumstances when need be. A lot of people in this world are too indecisive. Indecisiveness is a very, very bad trait. You don't want to be an indecisive person. You want to know what you want and decide on what you want. People don't like being around people that are indecisive. What do you want to eat? I don't know. You want this? No, I don't know. Being decisive makes your life much, much easier. So you gotta realize that by not making a decision is a decision as well, and it's the wrong. Not deciding is a decision as well, and it's the wrong decision. The quickest way to know if you're making the wrong decision is to decide in the first place. If we did make the wrong decision, we would have more time to adjust. You will realize, okay, I made the wrong decision, now it's time to correct it and make the right one, if that's possible. Rather, if we didn't decide at all, we would never know and live in a life full of regret. Leaders are decisive, and in order to lead your life in the direction you want, you must be decisive. Being decisive doesn't necessarily mean rushing your decision, but being decisive means taking all your knowledge about the situation and coming up with a decision quickly and effectively. Now, how do you make better decisions? We must first embrace that we are in position to make a decision. So that is a gift, that you can control what happens in your life, that you can control where you are in your life right now by making your decisions. So that is a sense of freedom. That's a sense of entitlement. That's a sense of power, that you have the freedom of choice as a human being, and you can decide what you want to do with your life. We must take all of the consequences of this decision into account. So whatever you're going to decide, think about the consequences of what's going to happen when you do what you're going to do. Now, we make our decisions based off two primary things. One thing is avoiding pain. The other one is, it's that simple. All our decisions come from avoiding pain or pursuing pleasure. After we establish these things, you then decide on what you feel is right based on the knowledge that you have gathered, pursuing pleasure. So you make a decision, either A, I'm making this decision because I'm trying to avoid pain, or I'm making this decision because I'm trying to pursue pleasure. We won't make the right decisions all the time, but if our intentions align with our values, then you can learn from that mistake and we can grow from it. So as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I did the best that I could do by evaluating the situation. I made the best decision for me and for my team, or for whoever was affected at the time of that decision. Even though it's the wrong decision, you can live with it and you can grow with it. So you must decide to take control of your life. Every morning you wake up, make a conscious decision that you will take control of your life, that you will live your life with intention, and live the life that you've always dreamed of. Realize that it all starts with you, no one else but you. Decide that you won't be afraid to make the wrong decision, because that decision will only get you closer to the life that you want. Decide to keep moving forward, keep fighting, keep pushing, no matter the obstacles life throws at you. Having the power to decide what happens in your life is the ultimate freedom. Don't ever give that freedom away. Because it's not what happens to us, but what we do about what happens to us that determine our lives.